Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel Biodiversity and Conservation. I am Subharakshmi Rao from Ambika Prasad Research Foundation, India, and we are continuing our UGC NET examination series for environmental science subject, and this is 18th part of Unit 3 Environmental Biology. Today we are going to discuss about an example of succession in aquatic ecosystem, and the succession that takes place in ponds, lakes, etc. is termed as hydrat succession, and the various stages that it goes through to reach the climax community is called hydroshare. So the different stages and processes which cause the development of a climax community are phytoplankton stage, rooted submerged stage, rooted floating stage, reed swamp stage, marsh meadow stage, scrub or woodland stage, and last is the forest stage, that is the climax community. So we have to discuss one by one. Phytoplankton stage is the pioneer community, and this is the succession where plants community is shown, and in the pioneer community we find some blue-green algae, some diatoms, some bacteria, uh, and these are the first organisms to colonize the um, pond. When these phytoplanktons die, they settle down at the bottom and provide a base to the ecosystem or to the community. Now, next one is rooted summer stage. Here, after the death of these phytoplanktons and uh, silt also mixed with these dead bodies, so it produces a soft bottom of the pond, which give rise a new habitat um, for some rooted hydrophytes like Ceratophyllum, Hydrilla, Vallisneria, etc. These plants actually um, build up of a substratum as a result of their depth and decay, and the water level also decreases, making the pond shallower in this case. And this new habitat now replaces these plants, giving way to another type of plants which are floating type. So the next stage is rooted floating stage, where as the water depth decreases, so it is best suited for rooted hydrophytes with large leaves floating on the surface to grow further. Some examples are Pistia, um, Lemna, Azolla, Ulfia, Nymphia, Lotus, etc. The decomposing organic matter formed due to death of these plants builds up the substratum more, and the floating species then disappears from that area after the death. Next stage is reed swamp stage. In this stage, um, plants are rooted, but most parts of their shoots remain exposed to the outside air, and so this stage is called amphibious stage of plants. The plants like typha, scirphus are important plants of this community. They have well developed rhizomes and form a very dense vegetation. The water level then further reduces and finally becomes unsuitable for the growth of these species too. So the next stage comes into play, which is marsh meadow stage. Uh, and here some uh, plant species of Cyperaceae and Gramineaceae colonize that area, and they actually form a mat-like vegetation towards the center of the pond with the help of their branched um, systems, and um, there is also much rapid loss of water, and when the mud is exposed to the air, um, with the nutrients like ammonia and sulfides, they become oxidized in reaction to oxygen to form nitrates and sulfates. This actually makes the mud more dry because of the deposition of salts, and therefore messy conditions approach this area, and marshy vegetation disappears gradually. Next stage is woodland or scrub stage. Um, by this time, the marshy vegetation has disappeared and the soil has become more drier, uh, which uh, are invaded by terrestrial plants like some shrubs and trees. Uh, and by this time, there is much accumulation of humus with rich flora of microorganisms. So, mineralization of the soil favors the arrival of new tree species in the area. And from submerged plant stage to scrub or plant stage, this is the transitional community. After that, it reaches forest stage, which is the climax community, and the woodland community is rapidly invaded by various trees, and in tropical climates with heavy rainfall, there is development of tropical rainforests, whereas in temperate regions there is development of mixed forests, and in the regions of moderate rainfall there is development of tropical deciduous forests or monsoon forests. This is the diagrammatic representation of hydrage succession, where the first stage is phytoplankton, next are the rooted submerged stage, next is the rooted floating stage, and then next one is the reed swamp stage, and then marsh meadow stage, and next is the woodland stage, and final is the forest stage, that is the climax community. Now, um, during this succession, there are progressive changes in the plant life, starting from pioneers to the climax stage forest. But animals also develop in the same manner. So there are also some changes in the animal life during this succession. So it goes through five stages. First one is the pioneer stage, where protozoans like Paramecium, Euglena, and Amoeba form the plankton, and their growth becomes um, very fast, which supports the other forms of life, and some organisms like caddisflies, they feed on these microorganisms and build their nests on in this community. Next stage is the submerged stage, Here, there are higher forms of vegetation. So the animals have adapted to barren pond bottom, cannot exist in these conditions. So the caddisflies are replaced by other species that are able to creep over the submerged vegetation, like dragonflies, mayflies, and some crustaceans. Next stage is the floating stage. Here, the animals that are found are hydra, frogs, snails, salamanders, some beetles, and other insects, which utilize the undersurface of the leaves for either egg laying or for food. So the larval forms of a number of insects are present in this community, and different kinds of turtles and snakes are also found in this stage. Now the next stage is reed swamp stage. Here the pod becomes shallower and the organic components also increase in the water, and the floating vegetation is replaced with emerging plants like sedges and cattails, which are firmly attached to the bottom by roots. So the floating stage animals also are replaced with um, some species like snails, some giant water bug, scavenger beetles, etc. And some annelid worms are also found. And as there are availability of insects to the upper surface of the water, so some birds like kingfisher, pond heron, ducks are also common to this area. Now the last stage is the marsh meadow stage. In this stage, the pond becomes a temporary pond, which may dry up in summer. So only those animals are present which can withstand drying in summer. And fishes are excluded from this group, and plants are replaced by woody forests. So there is a change in the animal life, like terrestrial animals are found in this habitat. Now, at last, there is some significance to the study of succession. Actually, the study of succession has been in ecology for a long time and is a central concept in understanding the dynamics of ecosystems, how the ecosystem works. So succession shows us how, which is the origin point and to which point the community can go. So most activities of man have been responsible for retrogression of succession, that is causing um, driving the driving back the successional processes, so disturbing the community. And by the study of succession, we can um, know about how to change our ways, so can we can revert back to the plant life and animal life which was in good condition. So restoration ecology represents significant application of succession theory, and a scientist named Bailey, he classified species into three categories that describes the relationship between their habitat requirement and the ecological succession. Like some species are adapted to climax, some are adapted to the developmental stages, while others may require a mix of developmental stages for their survival. So, a proper understanding of the process of succession is required for proper conservation and management of wildlife, which has also helped in some cases to save some animals from extinction. And this is all from me today. Thank you.